it actually contributes more reliability, durability to the design. So you're right. It's been evolved. It's been improved over time.
Because of the M4. The M4 wasn't hit, right? Well, let's design better rounds for it. Let's maximize performance out of a shorter barrel. You have all that. It's cool.
Let's manage heat better. Witness POF's heat sink barrel nut they have here. So it's finned. It dissipates heat. I don't know, whatever they say, 4 times. When we rapid fired the POF, it is a much cooler gun to shoot. And it's not the only one that does it, but it's a refined system, track record. It just keeps evolving and getting better. But as far as the amount of wars they've seen, the amount of bad guys that they've taken down, I'm going to call it a draw overall.
Yeah. Well, the track record, it's controversial. I don't want to... It's a history lesson, and there's so much behind each one of them, and I think the AR, it's come a long way. Because every time we start talking about this and people go, yeah, but in the beginning the AR sucked, it got a lot of guys killed. That's a totally different gun.
We're not filming the video 20, 30 years ago.
60 years ago, it's in the past. Compare today versus today's, they're pretty much a draw, really.
Even against guns that guys are putting together themselves. Again, if they use the proper components and they put it together right, they're going to have a good AR-15.
And I'll say the bastard AR is slapped together in a Saturday afternoon, not planning for it to be shot. You grabbed it out the next weekend and you're like, dude, that thing shot really well. I was like, what? Huh?
Yeah, we don't have that one. Maybe I'll find footage.
It's not here. But it says a lot about what the platform can do.
So that's track record. We're in a press.
I don't know.
We could go on another 2 hours.
There's so much to talk about for it. But just...
Officially a draw.
Yeah, it's a draw.
How about putting a scope on it? How about putting a red dot on it? AR versus AK, which one is best?
It's an easy call. Look at all this engineering that they had to do just to put a freaking sight over it.
This is an RS Regulate mount. It is outstanding. We love it.
Great mount.
However, it has some distinct downsides, as do most optics mounting platforms for the AK variant rifle.
They are horrible.
What do you mean it's horrible, though?
Just look at the amount of gymnastics they had to do to sit this little thing in this zone on the rifle.
It's about 8 ounces of metal.
And I'm not just talking the Regulate, because this one has a lot of adjustability in it. All of them with the side mount, they have to come over, up, and this is a bunch of shapes that can get bent or smashed or dropped or totally altered. I don't know, it bugs me how difficult it is to put any optic near your eyeballs on an AK.
So what we're trying to do is match the AR-15 platform, aren't we?
Yeah.
When we're mounting optics, we're saying, hey man, I want a red dot, I want a scope on my AK variant rifle, but it's going to add complexity. It's definitely going to add cost. This is about, I think, $285 we spent on these two parts.
Pricey.
For whatever reason, you can't buy them together. You buy this lower half, then RS Regulate goes, well, what top do you want? Because we don't know, and then you buy this other one. It's about, if I remember right, like $290 for both parts. It's freaking expensive, and it adds, I said 8, it's maybe not 8, but I'm 5 to 7 ounces to your loadout.
And that's if you're
just
lucky
to get a red dot on it.
If you're lucky enough to have an AK with the optics mount to begin with.
Right. What if you don't?
Voice of experience, it is a total bitch trying to drill it in on your own.
We did it.
It is a terrifying...
Okay, hold on. You're exaggerating slightly. It's not that difficult. What's really difficult to put an optics rail on a stamped receiver AK, that's what he's talking about, and we've done it on a milled receiver as well, is getting it straight. Because you'll look at it, and yes, there are templates for that, there are jigs for it, and that's what you should use.
You can't see the face I'm giving to it. Because for the average guy to do that, they're probably going to dick it up and ruin their AK.
That's correct.
They go, I tried to install a mount, I tried to JB weld and drill it into the side. Hey, what's up? I can't get 40 MOA of correction in order to get this thing on paper.
That's correct. And it may look visually like it's perfectly aligned up, and then when you try to adjust your red dot, you try to adjust your scope, you're way, way off. We've traveled that road.
Dude, I only have 20 clicks in this
That is because the AK was not designed for a scope.
Yep.
It wasn't. It was designed to be a disposable battlefield weapon, and so what we're trying to do is convert it into something it was not meant to be.
Yep.
Whereas the AR, was designed, especially in latest iterations. We talked about the evolution of the M16, M4, AR-15, and here you're seeing it. 1913 Picatinny rail, full length, totally easy to put on a scope.
You could put that optic in. You could have it back here, you know, next to your face, or you could put it further up.
Or you could just run BOIS if you wanted. Irons.
Hey,
you want to
irons on an AR is awesome.
And this is the totally awesome Aero Precision mount. We buy them at Amazon, link below. Again, love that mount. Super inexpensive. It's not a quick release, but we have found that we don't need a quick release, and it saves us weight and complexity. But you can put a throw lever mount on here and swap back and forth. And we find that you won't have RTZ perfectly, but it'll be relatively close to hit a man-sized target. But we have also found if you take your scope off an RS Regulate or a red dot and you put it back on, dude,
it does not.
You got to re-zero it. It's even though they'll say it returns to zero. We have found that if we slide this off the optics rail, it will come close on a high quality AK. Again, this is a Sega. Once upon a time, it's an SGL, more specifically. It comes close, but it's still way off.
Yeah,
it's still way off, and it adds complexity in the takedown. So now, if I have to take my top cover off, I have to take my optics rail off. Now I'm losing some accuracy. And I do my field strip, I do my lubrication, then I got to put my optics rail back on. It wasn't set up for optics out of the gate. It just wasn't.
Yeah.
If you're talking the ease of optics mounting, it's not really an argument. It's the AR-15 all day long. It's so simple. It's built that way out of box.
Yep.
And you're not adding weight. It's already on the top of the receiver.
Yep.
Now, guys will say, well, why didn't you mount this red dot forward on an Ultimac? Well, again, that's more complexity. So now we do have an Ultimac
rail. Don't act like that's the first choice.
Do I have that Ultimac SGL in here?
Here?
It's in the safe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dang it. So I haven't. Do I have one?
The Raz has it.
Okay, yeah, show the Raz. So here comes. I think that's an Ultimac rail. There you go. There's one.
Don't do what my buddy did though. And he did this, and I was like, yeah, it always sucks about AKs how you have to mount that optic on the front if you want. He was like, no, that's where I like it. I love it there.
Well, for a red dot, it makes a lot of sense. The reason we put that RS Regulate back there is because we're not just running a red dot.
Yeah.
For drills, we'll sometimes put a magnified optic back there. There's your answer.
That only has a red dot on it because we pulled it off. Originally, it had like a 4-power on it.
That's actually what the gun I just showed you is the truck gun. So I'm out in the desert. That's my defensive truck gun. Someone rolls up and wants to steal all the guns from us. It's going to say, I don't think so.
Yeah.
This is an Ultimac rail. So yeah, it's
not bad.
It's nice. It's solid, but it's a little bit complex to mount for most guys, right?
Yeah.
Were you with me when I mounted this? I didn't think it's that big of a deal, but some guys it throws them for a loop. And you get heat transfer to the optic. Yep. So if you light up several mag dumps, guess what's going to get hot? Your red dot.
Maybe I'm a little too spicy on this, just because my buddy.
It's a gas tube replacement.
I was just talking idly with him, like, yeah, it's not my favorite placement, and he kept acting like, dude, I love it on the front. I wish I could have all my optics on the front like that. And he kept talking about field of view. I don't like it as much. I think it's harder to
I'm going to disagree with you a little bit. I really like it. I like having it up front, but it just limits me on what type of optic I can run. So let's say you're a Soldier Boy guy, and you show up with this, and now we're shooting you out to 460 yards like we did with last Soldier Boy guy. Good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck, dude. Can you do it? I'll say no. I'll say your percentage of hits out of 460 and the conditions we had last month are going to be about 5% with a red dot.
It's so great up here, I'm going to go through our inventory and mount all of our red dots up here.
That's a really good point, actually, because if it's so awesome, why aren't AR-15 guys, they always mount it back here?
Yeah.
Whether you're talking about your A-point micros, they're not running them up here.
That's what I'm saying. If it's so great up here, why don't I see a dude with his freaking M4, you know, he's got his little EOTech right next to the front side.
Agreed, bro. Agreed. Optics mounting, though, is complex. It's going to add, this is the bottom line. It wasn't meant for it. It's going to add weight. It's going to add cost. It's going to add complexity versus an AR-15, which is indigenous to the weapon system.
Well, let's hop in the time machine to a conversation that never happened in 1945 in the weapons drawing room with Kalashnikov looking around going, guys, how the hell are we going to mount a red dot on this thing? Guys, this dust cover is not going to be able to hold any magnified optics. This isn't...
Right.
It's just, it is what it is.
Now, there are some dust cover dogleg mounts that will dovetail back here that will supposedly get rid of that variability problem. There's variations of it. That
we've never had any dust cover
weapon system or someone does it, TWS.
We've had a couple we've tried out behind the scenes. They've never been...
They have a dust cover dogleg mount that does it. The problem with that, though, is still it adds weight.
Yep.
It usually rises the optics higher because it has to clear the dust cover. And again, you're still changing what should be a very stable optic system to do field strip.
It's not nearly as stable.
I don't have to take this scope off to field strip an AR-15, dude. I really want to hammer this point home.
Yeah.
I think the worst thing you can do when you have something zeroed in and you are a stickler for accuracy is to go dick with it and take it off. You're essentially taking it off an AK. I don't care if you're pivoting it. I don't care if you're swinging it on a dogleg mount. I have found that all those induce variability into my zero, especially, and I'm so glad I remembered this, with a stamped receiver AK. Let's put that SGL back on. So one of my problems with this is, yes, I have a high quality RS Regulate mount, but it's still sitting it's sitting on a stamped receiver. Which, if you swing a scope, you can actually take this and twist it, and you can see it move and tilt left and right. I found that out in the desert. You mount a good scope on this, dude, and now your problem is this. Well, should I go with a milled receiver AR? Or I'm sorry, milled receiver AK? Well, now I'm looking at a 9-pound gun naked. Then I throw an RS Regulate on it. Then I throw a scope. Now I'm looking at a, I don't know, 9.5 pound, 10 pound, 7.6239. Hell, I might as well run an AR-10.
Yep.
That's the problem with solving the optics solution here. Now, in the comments, you'll find guys that they have their own way of dealing with it. And maybe they found a system that I've missed, but I think it's a pretty accurate take what we're showing. It's complex, adds weight, and variability unnecessarily, but that's what you're going to have to do.
It is what it, and it's not like we hate it. We still like it. We still love these guns. So
this is my go-to-war gun in the truck.
Yeah.
So it's funny I'm saying all this negative stuff, but what am I choosing? This. Why is it? Because I like the freaking caliber. That's why. I like 7.6239. I said that in hitting power.
Particularly these.
I said that in hitting power. So I know the confrontation would come within 50 to 100 yards, probably a lot closer. I set this up CQB. Does it really, anything that I'm talking about, does it matter within that range?
No.
No.
As long as you don't drop it. As long as you don't drop this thing upside down.
Well, the red dot may not survive. This is a really high quality mount. You can smack it.
Well, not this one. Didn't we bend one of the Russian ones once?
That was an KV-04S by Arsenal.
The KV.
And they didn't Loctite the top rail on, and we're shooting it, the whole rail vibrated off. They didn't even Loctite it. I call those guys, have you ever heard of a thing called Loctite?
What now?
Yeah, the whole thing. So we had to go through all of them, take off all the scopes, and Loctite them, because they said they were done at the factory. They weren't.
They were not.
Optics mounting AR wins hands down. And by the way, there's no heat transfer to the optic either.
Yeah.
For a standard mount. Standard mount. Okay, and then we go on, and we're kind of talking about it now, customizing AR versus AK.
Oh my gosh. So AR. It's not even on
You're saying AR hands down, not even close.
Absolutely.
I would agree with that, actually.
Look, you're looking at a bunch of guns we've customized.
Okay, and so here comes the POF coming off, and then, hey, I just rhymed, man. I rhyme all the time. Pote, don't even know it. And here comes one of our AR-15 builds. I just introduced it a little while ago.
Okay.
Yeah. ARs are so easy to build. They're so easy to customize and do exactly what you want to do with it. You want a certain muzzle device? There are a bazillion to choose from. You want a certain barrel profile. This is an enhanced lightweight from BCM. Awesome. Alpha rail, BCM, awesome. Forward hand stop here. I forgot who makes that. KG?
I like it.
I think it's KG. I really like it.
I think so.
KG, I think. Love the attachment method of the BCM rails, by the way. They're pretty sick.
Bad lever. Love that.
Bad lever.
Love it, love it.
Trigger. Safety mechanism. Charging handle. Stock. Pistol grip. All modular. Easy to swap out. And let's go to the trigger. The trigger is modular. So I don't have to have a handful of parts and springs and pins and figure out how they all fit together. I can drop in a modular Chip McCormick, an AR Gold, how about a Geisley trigger, and I'm done. And I'm done. Versus an AK. Do we have that same level of modularity with an AK?
Doing the springs, doing the retention plate. It's not impossible, but it's a learning curve.
There's an ALG trigger in this, and we finally got it right, and it is amazing. Oh my gosh, it's such a great trigger, but it wasn't easy. We did the work ourselves. Yep. Hey, it's because you guys don't know what the hell you're doing. Probably. We learned.
Everyone has to learn.
But we're talking about for the layman. This video is basically talking about for the broad swath of tactical carbine consumers out there. That's what this information is intended for. And I think putting modular things, I'm not saying modular, but just making modifications to the AK is slightly more difficult. Yep. Also, there's not as many things to choose from. I mean, how many trigger options do you have for an AR? 100? 100 different triggers, all of them awesome.
1,000 different stocks.
Adjustable.
12 different types of safety. Do you want a 45-degree
pistol grips? How many pistol grips do you have?
Ambi safety?
How many forends do you have? You guys get the picture of what we're saying. Now, granted, for the AK, things have really, really improved since we did the last series, AK versus AR. For instance, you're looking at a gun right now. We got Zukov furniture on it. We've got a Magpul pistol grip. We got the ALG, RS Regulate. We've got a Magpul folding stock. I mean, these are awesome ergonomic enhancements. Man, do they really, really improve the gun. I mean, the folding stock that Magpul puts on for the AK is just so awesome.
It's great.
It's so great that we've basically shown the RAS. We put it on every gun.
No, this is stock. This is how the RAS comes.
Oh, that's right. That did come that way.
It doesn't come with that weenie little tiny pistol grip.
Here, show more right here. So this is the same stock in black, right about there. There you go. He can't see the viewfinder. That's why he has no idea where he's at. Great. See, this one's zeroed for 124 hollow point.
Boom.
Super sick. Here you go. So it has improved a lot, and I'm just showing Magpul. There's some other brands and stuff you can put on your AK variant rifles, and I was really surprised actually as a reviewer that it took so long for the market to respond to AK builders. Forever, all we had was basically Tapco.
Yep.
And what else?
Some
other off brands. And this one still has Tapco.
Yeah.
And the AK elitists will laugh at Tapco and go, oh, that's garbage. I would never put that on my gun. But here's the deal. When we were shooting rollover prone out in the desert underneath barricade, I couldn't get behind those short NATO length stocks.
Yeah.
Much less the Warsaw Pact stocks that came on all the Russian AKs. I couldn't freaking hit with them. Remember those days?
Yeah.
I still like them though.
There's a special place in my heart for a bone stock AK, especially as the SGLs came. Okay. Even if it had the little Warsaw Pact, the plum colored furniture.
We still have all that, and you can retrofit on any of that you want.
It's just not super functional.
So you're talking second cool?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
AK Charisma,
But this is a Tapco stock here. This has a Tapco G2 trigger, Tapco forend on it.
I love that grip, by the way.
I like Tapco. I love it. That's the M249 grip.
Awesome. Awesome.
Isn't that a cool paint job? And that Durcoat's been lasting pretty good.
Yeah.
Granted, we don't take this out and thrash it every day. We don't. And it's got cheesy rings on it and a very medium quality scope. I think that's a 2x7 Weaver. Oh, here's a KV04S mount right here. This is the one we're talking about. That one's really heavy. I think it's like 8.5 ounces.
Yeah.
I never meet any TMPer that is doing AK builds. I'm sure I'm going to see about a bazillion in the comments now, but I never meet them. And I'll say, do you have an AK? And they go, no.
You can't do an AK build like an AR. Look, you have an upper and a lower. What do you like? The rolls that your AR platform can do are a lot wider than an AK.
There are AK builders. There are guys that build AKs from scratch. There are guys that bend their own receivers. All that's doable.
Yeah,
they'll rivet in their trunnion. They get a barrel. They do it, but it's a complex process. It's not like an AR. That's what you're saying, right?
And guess what? The dudes that are doing that probably have both AR and AK by now. I don't think anyone building their own only has one. It's a different type of user. We're talking for your average Joe. What are they going to pick up? Customize.
How about this? And when we talk about customization, do you need to customize it? Can you get your Romanian out-of-the-box AK with its greasy cosmoline impregnated wood and rust and reused barrel trunnion oftentimes, like Century is doing, and just run it as is?
You can.
Will it be functional?
Yeah.
Yes, it will. You don't have to customize it. You can keep it rack stock. You buy off the shelf a $600 thrashed AK or beater, leave it as is, okay. But I don't see that in the marketplace. What I see in the marketplace is guys want a hobby, and their hobby is modifying the guns they have.
Yeah.
Whether it's a Glock, whether it's an AK, whether it's an AR, they won't leave it stock. They want to modify it, and I'm guilty. That is me to it. Look at the guns I'm showing you.
Yeah.
These are highly modified guns to suit our own individual taste. They're coated. They have the optics we like. This, by the way, on the AR is an excellent Leopold VX. What is it? VX8, 1:6, 24. This is one of my all-time favorite AR-15 scopes. Illuminated, by the way. Sick. Customization. AR wins. Sorry. Ergos.
Ergos. Not even a question the AR wins.
So AR-15 versus AK, ergonomically, which platform, out of the box, non-modified, basically what you're not seeing now, is best? AR-CZ kind of drifted away. Let's put it back in here. Which one's best? TD.
AR. Come on, man.
AR. Not even a close battle, is it? No, it ain't.
No.
AR all day long.
Just for the fact that this has no last shot hold open.
That's one.
And that in itself screws with people. People we haven't really shot a ton of AKs with. Every time the last round is gang, click.
Yep.
Oh.
Hey, it
it
takes me by surprise. You're not counting 30 rounds out there when you're going through a drill. You're not.
Yeah.
So no last shot hold open. The safety sucks on a standard AK.
It sucks wholesale.
It's a whole hand affair.
Don't act
Now,
like
guys will roll in, and what are they going to say?
They've done it. They say, "Oh, dude, I can activate it easy with my index finger. I don't even have to break my grip."
Or they're saying, "Hey, just put in a Krebs mod or a right-handed safety modification." Oh yeah, how am I going to do that with the optics rail? This is occluded right here. I can't because my optics rail on there.
And guess what? There's a lot of resistance in that safety.
It's
every one of those sets we've had through the door. I think, cool, it's got a thumb safety, and I can't do it with one hand. I end up using
even if you do put the right-handed safety mod on them.
I'm sitting there trying to use the
because we had a Krebs we looked at and it was like that.
It drove me up the freaking. I was trying to dry fire.
The safety is awful.
It just never worked.
There's no bolt hold open. It's not like an AR.
Yeah.
How about mag changes? Is it as ergonomic?
They look super cool, but they're also
it's not nearly ergonomic. And versus like an AR, I mean, we'll look at the AR here in a second. We're just going to point by point, I guess. Charging handle, which one's easier to use?
AK, actually.
It's funny, I was going to say that too. I actually like the AK charging handle better.
Because it's out of the way of your
Agree.
optics.
I don't care if it's reciprocating either. That does not bother me at all.
It's out of the way of my face.
Agree. I agree with that. I'm going to give the AK the nod. I think the charging handle on the AR is a weak point. It's only used to initially charge the gun. That's it. Which is, when you talk about a 7.6239 AR-15, guys are like, well, just get an AR-15. They're using the charging handle the way it was not intended to be, to load and make ready constantly. It wasn't designed for that.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of wear and tear. That's why and I've had bad experience with 7.6239 AR-15s.
Yep.
They jam, you name the brand. We haven't shot one yet that's impressed us. Whether it's the Mutant or the Rock River, they all suck. So far. Maybe we find one that's good. I don't know. Safety, charging handle, we'll give it to the air. Sights we talked about already suck. How about the handguard and how far you have for holding it?
Sucks.
Now, this is a really good forend. It's a Magpul one. Awesome. Dude, normally, where's that AK-63? Grab it. It's on your side. That is representative of the type of grasping area that you have on your freaking AK. It is minimal.
And guess what?
And it's slick, so there's no traction.
It gets toasty.
It does get warm.
Dude, we've had the AMD 63. Remember that thing? That was roasting my hand.
Oh yeah, it was.
And that's a pretty good forend.
The Yugoslavian one.
Yeah, it's got the cool little grip and it's poly. And
you ended up hating that gun after you shot it. You loved it, and then
I loved it till I started shooting it.
The Yugo AMD, and then you're like, oh my gosh. I was like, would you buy it? And you're like, hell no.
Hell no.
So the forend, dude, the AR all day long.
Because you're stuck with these. You're stuck with this zone. You can't do like a free
There are
float.
modifications. You're seeing one right here that you can do it.
Is there a free floated one?
No, not free float.
I'm talking like this. Look at
no,
have that.
It's not. It's kind of because you got your field strip and your gas tube is integral into the handguard design on an AK.
Yep, stuck with it.
Yeah, it looks good. It's second cool. We're talking first cool here. Sights we talked about. AR all day long. Muzzle devices, even though there's a very limited variety on the AK, they actually work pretty good. Like this one, this AK-74, it works great. One. The problem is, this is a very heavy muzzle device. It's about 5 ounces, if I remember right. That's a heavy device.
It's a chunk of metal.
It's needed for the design, though, because it balances it out and it minimizes blast and recoil. I'm going to give the nod pretty much everything except the charging handle to the AR-15.
Yep.
Hold this for a sec. So the AR, M16, M4, do we have to go point by point? Yes, we do. Super quick. Buttstock, you can change it out to whatever you want. Mil spec, commercial spec tube, sling plates, pistol grips, triggers we've talked about. How about fire control enhancements? Can you put a bad lever on an AK? Can you put a wide variety of safeties? What if you want a 30-degree throw, 90-degree throw safety lever on your AK? Can't do it. AR, you just pick what you want. Charging handles, I haven't extended on this one. I forget which one this is. I think this is, it's a BCM gunfighter on this one. Forget which mod. But look how, see that clears the scope.
Yep.
Easy to do. Triggers are so excellent. Some of them don't have a large trigger guards. You can do that. What were you going to say?
I was going to say the only fire control thing I can really think of is a bigger paddle for your mag release.
Which that RAS has on it.
Yeah, and that's stock.
Right.
I don't know about putting one in on my own.
Right. And the magazine release on the AR, perfect. It's gated. It just works. Dude, it's freaking awesome. Handguards. Dude, where do we start?
Yeah.
Any length, any diameter, any size you want, different attachment methods.
How thick do you want it?
Different weights to attach your sling. I mean, it's just a can-do everything platform, and it's so hard to match that in an AK variant rifle.
So hard.
But look, this is a key mod. I mean, you can go M-Lock or key mod. This is a key mod. I have it set up for this, a hand stop here, and then a light on my offset on the offside, which isn't on right now. But how do I do that here? This is M-Lock. I can put it on here, but then actually I do have a short pick rail here. this actually really isn't the best representation because this forend, this Magpul forend, our handguard is excellent.
It's awesome.
Show them the standard one.
How are you going to attach your accessories to this mofo?
That's what I'm saying.
I can get your roll of duct tape, but it's going to melt right off. Zip ties. Zip ties.
You could actually screw in a short Picatinny rail section, but now you're going to have to worry about making sure it's concentric with a bore line. Will it have a way on the underside to put a bolt on the other side? I've gone through this. It's going to be complex. And then you screw up what is beautiful wood. I think we're talking, if it's first cool, the AR, hands down. If it's second cool, like you said, I just like the looks of an original AK. Rock on. Customization, I think we've made our point. It's insanely in favor of the AR-15, as evidenced by sales. If AK was more popular, wouldn't it sell more?
Yeah, every manufacturer would be rushing their own $500 price point AK to market.
Right. Again, congratulations to Magpul, for instance, for making furniture like this and the modifications which allow this gun to be so much more awesome in terms of first cool. But, oh, by the way, it did add weight.
Yep.
So now what was, I have it written here, a 7-pound, 6-ounce gun naked. Now I'm looking around approaching 9, I think, without ammo. Which is a good lead into SAWC. Which one wins? Size and weight considerations moving along. AR-15, dude. Which one is lighter and easier to carry?
Easily.
Generally, we're saying. Throw that AK-63 in front of the camera again. This, I think, is a great option. The underfolder, it is lightweight, relatively speaking. I wrote the weight down, or you did. That's your writing, isn't it?
Yep.
7 pounds, 8 ounces. So it's not that light. What's a lightweight AR-15 build these days?
Like 5 pounds? Or
5.5 to
lower
6.
than that?
5.5 to 6, and that's without guys really trying that hard.
Yeah, I think normal off-the-shelf, like naked ones, around 6 pounds is doable.
Let's see what here's my build right here. 6 pounds, 15 ounces with 20 round, and that is with, I think, the scope on it too. 6 pounds, 15. That's as you're looking at now, dudes. This is a 6 pound, 15 ounce
really?
AR-15. Yeah.
With the optic?
I think so. Let's weigh it right now.
We coated it all together.
I think so.
Dude, that would be nuts.
I can't remember if I swapped the optic out on it, because this is a bigger and heavier optic. I might have had a red dot on it, but let's try it. Boom!
Holy shit.
Boom! 6 pounds, 15 ounces with a 1:6 illuminated Leopold scope, arrow precision mount. Look, I even have a bad lever on it. I have a sling plate on it. And I've got an MFT stock alpha rail on it. 6 pounds, 15 ounces. Let's throw. Which one do we have a scope on? Oh. Do we have a? How about this SGL? Because this has a scope, right?
Yeah.
So this is a modified, scoped 545 AK. Let's see how much this bad boy weighs. Break out the dolly because you're going to need it. 9 pounds.
Dudes.
Can you guys see that? Hold on, let me take this mag out. 9 pounds, and that's a 545. So you're looking at
a stamped 545.
2 pound difference.
Yeah.
And that's what we're saying. When you add on you fix the problems optics-wise and ergonomically on the AK platform, it adds weight.
That's what I'm wondering. I thought it was lighter than that.
But what magazine did you have in it when you weighed it too? We always weigh with the magazines. It's not worth it.
712.
712 with that particular Magpul in it. Not bad. That's not a bad weight. That's carryable.
It's not horrible.
You can carry it, but as far as weight, AR-15. You can get so many lightweight builds. Now, for sure, guys will show up in the comments and go, well, I've got this AK and it weighs like 6 ounces. No doubt you can build any, there's outliers, again, everything. But in the middle, you're seeing a very representational weights for the weapon systems. As far as size, I will still go with an AR, even though it's a direct gas impingement with a buffer and spring tube. In other words, not some modification where I can fold it like on a piston gun back here. I'll still go AR. I mean, this is a relatively short overall length. This is a 16-inch barrel. I didn't go with a 14.5 because I want velocity. Still good. Now, this is shorter in overall length. Look at this SGL. Right? This is another reason I use this for my truck gun. But this is short enough. Show the AK-63 in overall length. Is it shorter than this AR build right here? Yeah, it is. So it comes up to the handguard. So I guess if you're willing to go with an underfolder or maybe a Draco, AK will win the overall length contest. I don't know if a Draco
counts as a rifle, though.
But guys will also roll in and go, well, with an AR, I can do an SBR.
Yeah.
And that'll be shorter than anything you're throwing on the table, Nutnfancy. And that's a fair point. If you're willing to do the paperwork, do a 200 on it. I say rock on.
Can you shoot a Draco? We have it, and I love it, but I don't know if I would count on it for...
Oh, Dracos are awesome, dude. They're accurate.
They're so freaking loud, though.
They're going to blow your eardrums out. It's a serious
You're wasting so much powder with that round.
But it's a special purpose application, a Draco is. It's like when you need a super, super compact, like VIP protection, truck gun, motorcycle weapon,
well, that's what I'm saying.
Draco.
It wouldn't even be a rifle.
But it's still shooting this cartridge, though. Yeah. 7.62-39. Bottom line is, you can get a short overall length AK, but you can do the same with the AR. I have found in my own experience in TMP, the AKs are almost always going to be heavier. Also, the magazines are going to be heavier. And let's weigh that real quick. That's a Bulgarian Circle 10 in black. That's our favorite go-to-war mag still. So that's fully loaded. 1 pound, 10 ounces. Then we have M193 Lancer translucent right here. Fully loaded. So this is 1 pound, 10 ounces. This is definitely going to be lighter. Same amount of rounds, 30 rounds. 1 pound 7. I'm sorry, 1 pound 1. So it's 7 ounces heavier.
And that's for the Lancer.
That's for one mag set. So now let's say you're carrying 6 of these magazines. You're going to be carrying a lot more weight for that 30 caliber firepower.
And guess who learned that? The Russians did.
That's right.
They aren't issuing this system anymore.
They've gone with 5.45.
Yeah, 5.45.
Yeah, and I don't have a fully loaded 5.45 mag. It's going to be more comparable.
Yeah.
Pretty much 6s.
Yep.
So we're just considering the 7.62-39, which I still think is the go-to AK round.
It's the quintessential AK.
It's the quintessential AK round that guys buy because of everything we mentioned in hitting power. But the weight of carrying all that ammunition, especially in a without rule of law system, good luck, bro.
Yeah.
Good luck. You're carrying 100 rounds of AK. Actually, it would be more than that. It'd be more like, would be a good loadout. Probably 150, 120. You can do it, but from what I've seen, guys can't even run in Soldier Boy without a load.
Yeah.
That's what we find. They're having a hard time just wheezing with what is essentially short running. They're not carrying like
no plates.
Chest plates. They're carrying minimal magazine loadout. They're not carrying first aid. They're not carrying basically a combat loadout that a soldier would. A self-contained system, which is like Red Skies, which by the way is about 80 pounds. Food, first aid, extra batteries, some preparation items, some tools, some knives. 80 pounds, plus your weapon. Have fun. If you doubt me, go look up the combat loadouts of guys who hike around in Afghanistan unsupported. You'll find that's exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, ask those guys how their knees are doing afterwards, too.
I'm having knee problems still.
Dude, it's bad.
Value and quality. Which one presents a higher value these days for the standard off-the-shelf rifle, AK versus AR-15? Which is best?
Dude, the AR market is so much more competitive.
It is.
It's hard. It would be hard to say you can get a lot of AK for your money when every manufacturer has like a standard bare bones AR for around $600.
Hey, I can buy an AK for $250 at my local pawn shop, dude. Get it right. What do you say to that?
I don't really buy it no more. I think AK values are going up too.
They have gone up.
Because the days of being able to, yeah, dude, it's an Orinco, I paid $350 for it.
Those days are long gone.
You're talking to someone that goes around and looks for those kinds of deals,
look
I ain't seeing it.
This gun, the SGLs. So they stopped importation of them. When they were being sold in 2007, 2008, you could, with a really, really good deal, get them for about $550. And every year after that, they slotted upwards. When I did my gold standard review on the SGLs, guys were able to get them for about $750, which was a good deal. And now they're going for what?
And I remember
11
yeah,
for an
people
SGL?
Are asking like
Stamp
12.
receiver, Russian-built Sega conversion.
Yeah, go on Gunbroker. People are asking $1,200 for their SGLs.
Right.
It's nuts. And back then, when that video dropped, people were like, dude, $800 for an AK? Are you high?
That's exactly what they said.
That's the stupidest thing I've...
I caught all types of criticism that I was advocating an AK that was that expensive, which was $750.
Yep.
I wonder if they still feel that way.
Yeah.
Now that gun's gone way up. I wonder if they feel that way if they go out and spring for a Rifle Dynamics M92 for $3,000, a Krinkhoff build.
Holy crap.
$3,000. Their 701 is 2.2, so that's $2,200. Their 702 is the same. The Rifle Dynamics 703 Classic is approaching $2,000.
Are you really getting $2,000 worth of performance out of that gun?
for a lot of people, the answer is they're probably getting $2,000 worth of second cool, knowing that it's the best AK build available in America, that it's put together right, there's no compromises, they know the quality levels are awesome, unlike an unknown thing you're pulling off the shelf. Getting back to what we said about quality. You pull an AK off the shelf at your pawn shop, you don't know if it's got a reused barrel, reused components.
You don't know if the sight's canted or if it's a monkey build from the 90s.
I remember we were in the pawn shop when you used to sell AKs, and a guy came in with an AK that wasn't cycling. It was like some Romanian he'd bought. He's like, hey man, can I get this back and maybe get some service done on it? And Van Wagen at the time, he's the owner of the pawn shop. He goes, it's a Russian AK. It doesn't got no warranty. Not now, not never.
God, it's the weirdest.
It's a one-way stop. You bought it. If it shoots, awesome. If it doesn't, it's all you.
He had that weird voice.
Oh, he was hilarious. He was a weird dude.
If Doc Brown from Back to the Future became a mummy.
He looked like someone from Doctor Who, didn't he?
He was just a weird guy.
Yeah. Is Dr. Brown from Back to the Future? Yep. Yeah, totally. Point being is that for a standard AK, a really high quality one, you're going to be paying now.
Yeah.
You're locking like $1,000 plus, maybe $1,500. A lot of the arsenals around $1,500. Much more expensive than an AR. And yet, you can go out and buy a value AR-15 for cheap. You can get a Smith & Wesson M&P-15 Sport, a Ruger AR-556, Springfield Armory, Saint. You can get the Savage. Dude, the MSR-15 is a good gun. And it's like, what, $650?
I've seen freaking Ruger AR-556s for $550.
And that's new.
New.
Wait till someone brings it in your shop and you can get it used for $500.
Yeah.
AR hands down.
Dude, that's a lot of
AR
for the money.
Down. And what has happened in the AR world is that, like when I first started TMP, you'd buy an AR, a value-priced AR, and your performance level, accuracy, and reliability was kind of like this. But this is what has happened in the last decade since I've been doing TMP. This is one of the things that have changed. Now it's up here. Now the accuracy and the reliability of value-priced ARs are way up here. They're accurate. They're reliable with brass-cased ammo. And they're durable. And those last a lot longer than you'll ever put rounds through them.
Well, look at the companies that are now releasing lower-cost ARs that weren't there before. 10 years ago, Ruger didn't have any AR on the market.
Right.
Especially not one that was cheap. Their first one was $2,000, wasn't it? The SR556?
Yeah, like you and I tested that in 09. Yeah. We did a bunch of shooting with SRs.
That was kind of a more premium AR, and now they've been hunting for sales. So, I mean, look, Savage, all those brands that you just mentioned.
DPMS, Oracle, Palmetto Armory, all of them make value-priced ARs that are good guns.
Pretty good.
They're pretty reliable. They're pretty accurate.
Wyndham.
And here's the thing. You can get an AR for like $600, and then if the mood strikes you and you run into money, upgrade them.
Yeah.
Until then, they're completely functional.
Yeah.
They shoot great. Let's contrast against an AK you buy off the shelf of an unknown origin. But Nutnfancy, I know the origin of it. Okay, maybe you do. Maybe it's a certain AK that you know where it came from. But I don't think you're going to find a quality one for less than, these days, $800. Maybe used, you get lucky.
Tough, man.
I think value has swung in favor of the AR. It wasn't like that 10 years ago when I filmed the first series. The first series, I think it was in favor of the AK because the prices were lower.
Yep.
The quality was outstanding. But now things have changed. You have a lot fewer imported AK options for the consumer. You don't have all the ones I just mentioned. You have a couple options. You know, you have a couple homemade options that are building premium AKs. You're going to pay for it. Value. Point, set, match, AR-15.
Yep.
That's just the way it is, dude. And I think we're coming to the end. And how far are we into this? Pretty close, like I said.
Sweet.
How did I know? About an hour and a half, bro.
There's a lot to talk about.
There's so much to talk about. Firepower, we'll end with that.
I should be up.
Draw. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
So we're showing 30 rounders on the table. I got a 20 in that one. We have drums for both. The drums for the AK, you really need to test them and make sure they work. They're notoriously unreliable depending on which one you choose. There's a ton of information online you can look up. We're not covering it here. I did do a video on the AR-15 drum systems. They are excellent.
I was about to say, the evolution of this platform is really helping it. You can get surefire casket mags and freaking 100 rounds. No one's doing that kind of research and R&D for mags for the AK.
I wouldn't say no one. There have been some. Palm's done some mag systems for it. There's a mag pull right here. I think you're getting a lot more support. Oh, you're talking high firepower ones.
Like higher capacity ones.
There may be some ones, guys, we're missing.
Drums,
sorry if we are.
They're mag pull drums, the surefires.
And the XS.
XS.
Those were awesome. I think that's XS. It's the one we tested, and it was 100%. It's basically a 3-gun system, though. It's designed for competition, so guys don't have to reload. But it's a manual wind. It's heavy, but dang, was it reliable.
I
with
still
steel
like
and brass.
I like the typewriter drum for the AKs. I got one of those.
They're cool.
The manual wind, it rattles.
You better test it a lot,
loud.
though. Keep it lubricated and keep it clean.
Super heavy.
Keep it clean.
Yeah.
So our go-to magazine, we do like the Magpul, but we still like, Tapco's here. I like Tapco.
Circle 10.
Circle 10. Bulgarian Circle 10.
They're
Those
awesome.
are good. We'll take the extra weight. They're like 8 ounces. Naked. A standard AR mag empty is 4 ounces, half its weight. This is a GI. I forget which.
That's a Brownells.
Oh, Brownells, but still a GI style magazine, GI spec.
Yeah.
Again, this is really kind of encapsulates the whole SAWC argument. So it's basically twice the weight.
Yep.
To get a reliable, awesome mag that you know you can count on. Hey man, I like Tapco. I like Magpul. Okay, but Circle 10, when I really, really need it to work, Circle 10, I'll take the weight. Thank you very much. Remember that Bulgarian clear one? The Roomba busted it.
Yep, I remember
The Roomba's running around and it just snapped the Bulgarian
snapped the feed lift
clear.
right off it.
Was sitting there fully loaded. I came down, the Roomba took it out.
Yep.
How'd your weapon system go down? Roomba.
Roomba. Vacuum.
Roomba. Vacuum took it down. The Dustbuster took it down. Bulgarian versus Dustbuster. We're at an end, fellas. AK versus AR-15. We got to declare a winner. It's kind of wishy-washy to not declare a winner, and I think you know where this is going. When everything is put in the hopper and we shake everything up, what do we talk about? Firepower, hitting power, accuracy, what else?
Coolness.
Coolness.
Optics.
Optics mounting, durability, maintenance, value, quality, SAWC, ease of use. Yeah, value and quality. I'm going to give it to, drumroll, AR-15.
AR, man.
AR-15. Don't interpret that as saying we don't like the AAK. It's part of our system. It really is. It's a go-to-war system for us. Am I making that up?
If you think we don't like AKs after seeing all the ones that we've been holding on to and customizing,
Roger that.
kind of an idiot.
Well said.
We've
I totally
shown
agree
you
with
a
that.
table of enthusiast equipment here.
Yeah.
There's no way you can pretend we don't. I've been telling you to buy this. I've been saying buy one of these. This is cool. It's the coolest underfolder there is.
I think that's almost a perfect motorcycle gun right there.
Buy a
AK
Draco
63.
too.
The Draco's
I love
sick.
that Draco, dude. That's
the Draco's
that's a lot of
awesome.
gun for the money. That was cheap.
The Draco, I wish I'll
cool.
roll in footage somewhere along the way. The Draco is freaking insane.
Super cool.
The AK with in 7.62 39 chambering is always going to be a favorite of ours. It's a very affordable round, at least it has been. You can buy up lots of it. I'm talking like storage of it, you know, boxes of it. And it just hits so hard, 0 to 200 yards. It's a go-to round. But yes, it has disadvantages in the stamped receiver AK platform. We've covered them all.
Yep.
The AR, on the other hand, accurate, very reliable, by the way, when it's done right. Not to say we haven't seen it go down. We have. No weapon system is perfect. We've seen that with this as well. Highly durable, highly customizable, and you talk about value.
It's
insane.
Night and day difference.
Not built like this. This is an
2009.
expensive build right here.
Yeah.
This is probably a $2,000, $2,200, $2,300 build, not including optics. I'd have to do the crunch numbers, but yeah, it's expensive to get it tie in like that. But I'd go AR. And look at the market. Look at the market. Talk to your friends. You say, hey, what do you have? AR, AK. I guarantee you they're going to say AR.
Yep.
AR. I don't know why AK isn't more popular, because it does have some cool advantages to it, especially in 7.62 39. And modified like we're showing you here, it solves several of the key ergonomic problems. Trigger, pistol grip, stock, attachment methods up front. It works.
Really, you should have both, though. In a perfect collection,
That's where we're
you'll have
ending right
both. And if you can afford it, rock on. Have your mid-length, your carbine ARs, have your Draco, your folder AK.
And when we get down to it, why do you own a gun? Yeah, we have it as a defensive system, yes, but I think primarily it's a hobby for you, bro. It's a hobby. It's a hobby. So if that's the case, get both. Tinker with both. Run both. And maybe you become an AK guy over an AR guy.
Yeah.
If so, come back to this video and throw down a comment.
Maybe you build your own.
And tell us why you were converted, or vice versa. That you're an AK guy, and then you were converted to AR. Tell us why in comment. Make sure you thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you join TMP Patreon. We sure love our TMPers that are Patreon members. It's basically the reason you get more than one video a week.
Yeah.
Otherwise, that'd be a 1 video a week flow. I would actually throw down more. I've said this a bazillion times if you guys watch them more.
Yeah.
But I'm getting, what, 4% of the viewers watching them. So this is kind of the flow we do.
Well, because most guys don't check in enough. They'll check in every couple days or something.
They got jobs, families.
And the amount of times I've had people go, hey, man, where's the Springfield Saint review?
It's been out for a year.
It happened.
Where were you?
It happened and you missed it.
I had a guy checking the other day. He's like, "Hey man, I can't believe your channel's still going, man. Last time I left you, I had like 300 subs." I was like, "Dude, when's the last time you checked in?"
2007.
That's what he did.
Yeah.
He's like, "Well, I guess
Then
thanks for checking on once per 6 years."
How in the hell?
But
do you
if all the
remember
viewers were
someone
like you,
that?
I would have quit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks to TMPers who watch all the videos and put it on autoplay.
Yep.
Autoplay it.
rules.
Walk out and turn your speakers off and just autoplay all the TMP videos. You have to turn your speakers off, otherwise when your wife meets me in person, she's going to punch me in the mouth.
It's weird how many wives have said, "Oh, I recognize your voice."
And then they punch me in the mouth.
Yeah.
Thanks for all the debt, Nutnfancy.
Yeah.
My husband just went out and bought both like you recommended, an AR and an AK, you dick. We're ending now. Last thoughts, TD.
Nothing.
Thanks for watching TMP AK versus AR-15. This is your update video.
That's enough hits.